Hey there, Pioneer fans, Bryant Cook, and as always, we're playing my favorite Pioneer deck, Lotus Field Combo. And if you're unaware, I'm actually giving away, I should have reached for it sooner, this Pioneer Challenger deck completely free to one lucky member of our channel. So if you're interested in possibly winning this, become a member, click that join button down below. But today, we are playing a list without green. That's right, no green. Lotus Field Combo is traditionally a Simic deck, which means blue and green. Today we are Izzet blue and red. And part of the idea is that Thalia has been a driving force in this format. And one of the best ways that you could possibly answer Thalia is Spikefield Hazard. And Spikefield Hazard deals 1 damage to any target, or you can play it as a land, which means you can sacrifice it to your Lotus Field later. Well, why is that good? Well, Thalia only has 1 toughness, so that's pretty good. But Spikefield Hazard also answers something else. That something else is Narset, which is very popular out of the blue decks. So Spikefield Hazard, you know, has some range, I guess. In theory, you could also win the game with this Spikefield Hazard. I know it seems silly, but you can peer into the abyss your opponent enough times that you can then deal the final damage with a few copies of Spikefield Hazard. I've actually done it before, not with this list in particular, but I have won the game with Peer into the Abyss previously. So it is a backup win condition if for some reason Niv-Mizzet cannot get the job done. That's all I'm trying to say here. But one of the reasons why we would possibly be Izzet is that when we look at traditional lists, and by traditional lists, I mean, this is my 3-color list at the moment. But when we look at it, you're really just playing green for Grazer and Scrying. You technically don't really need Balagad Recovery. It's nice, but not a requirement. And then Wilt in the sideboard. So you're really playing it for Grazer and the Sylvan Scrying. But Scrying is kind of bad mid-combo. It is really good at finding Lotus Field. But with red, we have Wish. And with Wish, you can play Lotus Field out of your sideboard. So now, with recent lists, we've had a number of ways of finding our Lotus Fields. Potentially, we don't need green anymore. And that's what we're looking to find out today. I actually recorded a list somewhat similar to this concept back in March of this year. So actually, I'll link that in the card above. You can definitely go check that out if you're interested in more of this style of content. And yeah, consider as an upgrade over Opt, which is what we played at the time. You know, we do have our 4 copies of Shimmer, but also 4 copies of Planning, despite not having Dig Through Time in the main deck. Back then, we were a 4 Dig Through Time main deck. That has sort of changed over time, and now we just really want to be, you know, turboing into Peer into the Abyss. That's really the idea here. I mean, the win condition is still casting Niv-Mizzet and then using Valakut Awakening. That has not changed. We do have 3 copies of Valakut because you can't Balagad Recovery 1 back, which was sort of this like nice thing that you could do previously. Not anymore. So without having Balagad, you really want an extra copy of Valakut Awakening in case you're forced to use 2 copies early. Like you might have to play one for a land drop, sack it to Lotus Field, and then you use the other one mid-combo, and all of a sudden you don't really have a way of winning. So now we have 3 copies of Valakut Awakening. You should be fine. I don't think you're really going to end up having this be a problem. Let's say you do use all 3. You can always cast Niv and then Peer again too. So you don't even necessarily need this Valakut Awakening. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about the main deck. I considered running a 2nd copy of Blast Zone to help deal with all the deafening silences that are sort of popular right now. But I chose to run an extra Spikefield Hazard instead. I do think if you want to run the extra Blast Zone, you have to cut the Hazard, and I'm just really interested in testing out the Spikefield Hazard today. So it is what it is. One of the weaknesses of running is that you don't have Wilt. Wilt is a card I've been playing over the last few weeks due to the popularity of Lotus Field causing people to switch back to Deafening Silence and Damping Sphere. Well, we don't have access to that. So you can run Void Snare, which answers both Deafening Silence and Damping Sphere. But if you want to live on the edge and you're not interested in that, you could run a Braid, which only answers Dampening Sphere, but it's more versatile. I think, well, versatile is not even necessarily true because Void Snare is more versatile than a Braid. But it's a more powerful card, a Braid is, but I don't think not answering Deafening Silence, just not good. So we're just going to move past that. Don't run a Braid. I think you really want your answer to be Void Snare. And then everything else in this sideboard is fairly stock to my list, at least. If you have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. I try to answer them. And this month, if you're interested in supporting us, you can head over to theepicstorm.com/shop, and there we have 15% off all of our merchandise with code STORMYHOLIDAYS. Once again, that is code STORMYHOLIDAYS, and you can have 15% off. I mentioned the Pioneer Challenger deck promotion we're doing for the holidays. That will be drawn on December 23rd. And what's the last thing? Oh yeah, if you're a member, you get access to all videos early. That is a top combo tier perk, but we're giving it to everyone that is a member of this channel this month. So thank you to everyone for helping me hit my subscriber goal this year. And if you're looking for other ways of supporting us, check this out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we're on the draw. I've opened up Lotus Field plus some mana sources. We're going to keep this. And I even have Spikefield Hazard to slow our opponent down if they are a deck that plays 1-drop creatures. Fable Passage, probably not a Spikefield Hazard deck, but we'll hold it in hand just in case. Okay, so let's play the Canal and pass the turn. On turn 2, we'll probably Shimmer and not Planning, just because Shimmer digs a little bit deeper for that Thespian stage. And here they use Fable Passage for a mountain. Interesting. Alright, so they're just on Phoenix most likely. Let that go. Draw. Another Planning, okay. Play this out in Shimmer. I think I just take the hidden strings here. Pass the turn. Alright, so our opponent has an Unleashed Jace at the moment, but honestly, I'm not super concerned with that. I don't think it's going to end up being a big deal for us. And they foretold a card, okay. Draw. Another land. Let's play this Planning. Looking for stage. Couple wishes. I think we take the Brawl. Play Lotus Field and pass. We're 2 wish down. It's worth noting that once again, we only have 4. So, I don't know. Like, we should be fine. I'm just pointing it out. Maybe this is a reason not to run Planning in the deck, because Planning could mill your cards. So instead, you'd want to find another cantrip or dig spell to potentially play. I haven't missed Planning in the builds I've run playing previously, so maybe it's just not correct to be playing planning. Alright, so our opponent's a Grixis deck of sorts. And they foretold another card. Parun Valakut Awakening. Try this planning. That was an F6. I think we just pick up the Vizier here. Cycle. Yeah, they're F6, which is just wild. Consider. I'm gonna cast this Valakut Awakening in bottom. Consider Hazard Brawl. Yeah, let's try this. Draw 4. And I've played my land, I believe. I have. Pass the turn. Sort of hoping that our opponent taps out this turn, and then next turn I can just dunk on them with a Peer into the Abyss. Another Jace runs Prodigy. Okay. So what they'll do here is activate the Jace runs Prodigy in play. It will become Jace Telepath Unbound, and then they can play the Jace runs Prodigy and have both Jaces. 4 cards in our opponent's hand, 3 cards now. And will they play the other Jace, or will they hold up their Foretell cards? Plus Jace. And they decided to play the other Jace, so we're going to go for it here. And our opponent's passing the turn by the looks of it. Okay, 39 cards in deck at the moment. Let's make that 38 and cycle this Vizier. Cycle. Come on, mouse, don't die on me now. Okay. Let's untap. This will probably be the last league that I ever play with this mouse, by the way. I have a new mouse coming this afternoon. So rip this mouse. You were fine, but getting a better one. Not that any of you care, but I'm just talking. Alright, so let's cast another Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. And let's cast this Peer. Drawing 19 cards, I believe. Okay. And I do have another Hidden Strings in there. So let's copy our Lotus Field. Play strings. Yes, yes, no. Cycle Vizier. Okay, untap. Draw. We have 1 Hidden Strings left. Tap this for mana. Cast Pore. 18 cards in deck. Discard down to 15. Looks like there's another Pore in there. Sorry, my mic is covering up my hand just a little bit. Okay, so let's untap these. Discard another land. 12 cards left in deck. Let's scroll over. Alright, so another Peer's in there. That's good. Let's cast the Pore. Okay, tons of mana floating at this point. Step these for red. And play Wish. I don't even need the other Hidden Strings. Let's play the Niv-Mizzet. And let's get our opponent dead here. Cast this Valakut Awakening. Okay, we have 23 cards in hand. Auto yield. Save targets. Target them. Auto yield to that. And now we just have to put our entire hand on the bottom of our deck. I'm going to keep the Pore because okay, our opponent got bored and conceded. Wooch wooch. Game number 1 over Grixis. Alright, so we do want Mystical Dispute here. So those are cards that we should bring in. And I think we should probably bring in at least 1 Niv. So you're not really allowed to board out Spikefield Hazard because it's part of your mana base. And like you can maybe shave 1, but you certainly can't take them all out. Like that would be a big mistake because then you're going from being a deck with 26 lands down to a deck with 23 and your Lotus Field deck. So it's a little bit risky. So I don't love that. Instead, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take out these strategic plannings. I think that those are sort of a flex spot in this deck and we don't really need them. You could also consider, but considers when your lower curve cards helps you hit your land drops. I think you want to keep those. So let's try this out. Okay, game number 2 versus Grixis. Good hand. Strong hand. We'll keep this. All right. Just moving cards around because I'm bored. Ignore me. Okay. Team vents. All right, I'll take a wish. Play Canal and pass the turn. They're probably going to cast a 1-mana cantrip like an Opt or a Consider here. That's why they were willing to shock themselves. Yep. All right, and they kept their card. Okay. Draw. I could play the Brawl here, but it's a little bit risky. It just like runs into the removal. I don't love it. Instead, I'm just going to pass. And hold up this Mystical Dispute to maybe catch a Niv-Mizzet, which would be pretty huge. Okay. So they've used their Fabled Passage. And a Blood Crypt. Passing the turn. Draw. Hidden Strings. I'm just going to play the Lotus Field, I think. I guess I could cycle the Vizier here. Why don't I do that? And that way I still have Dispute up for Niv-Mizzet. Draw. Okay. And pass the turn. Command. That's fine. Discarded another command and expressive iteration. Opponent's deck is pretty cool. I like it. Iteration. Fire Bluff Canal. Okay. And they're just going to pass the turn. Draw. Another wish. I think I just play Blast Zone and pass here. I don't really feel like I need to burn a wish right now. Like I could try. I thought about tapping Lotus Field, playing Wish, see if they counter it, and then play the Siobhan Reef to hold up Dispute. But what if they just let Wish resolve and I don't do anything? Like it just seems like a bad play. Another iteration. Izzet Charm. Okay. Looks like they're just gonna pass here. Okay, so let's add a counter onto this Blast Zone. That brings it up to 2, which would stop a Damping Sphere. Draw. Another Reef. I think I'm just going to take it slow. Like, I don't see a reason why I need to rush right now. Theoretically, I'm sort of looking at this Wish, by the way, as another copy of Lotus Field as well. They're tapping some mana. Before Tell, okay. Probably like it didn't say please, or Into the Multiverse. I'm going to leave Blast Zone there. Draw. Let's see if they counter Wish. Red mana, blue mana. 3 mana here. Mystical Dispute. I'll let that go. Let's play Canal and pass. One has 3 cards at the moment. Up to 4 with their draw step. And we can't forget that they have that one card that has been foretold. 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana? Epiphany. That would have made sense. So I can dispute here. But if they have their own dispute, it obviously stinks a little bit for me. Let's attempt to counter. I should have known that it was Epiphany. I don't know why I couldn't figure that out. And they do have their own dispute. Alright, so they're going to get some birds. Okay, and now they take their extra turn. Dig through time. Yep. Okay, they're back down to 4 cards in hand. Alright, so we're going to take 2 here going to 17. And they're passing. Shimmer, okay. Let's cast Wish. I'm just trying at this point. I really want to get the second copy of Lotus Field, so ding. Sacrifice these 2. Let's Shimmer. If they want to counter a Shimmer, they can. I don't care. Alright, so they have 5 mana. Will they do anything? Expected Windfall, okay. This Peer into the Abyss seems like a okay magic card. I'll grab that. And let's pass the turn. Alright, our opponent has plenty of mana. Let's see what they do with it. 5 cards in hand. Right. Phyrexa. I admittedly did not see that coming out of this deck, but I do have the spare land that I don't really need. So let's lose some life. One has 3 cards in hand, and are they bringing back Phyrexa? No? Another Epiphany? Yep. Okay. So I'm going to take 2 here, going down to 12. And they get to take an extra turn where Phyrexa will probably be coming back. 2 mana. 3 mana. And then another black for Phyrexa. Well, I guess Phyrexa is red, red, black, black to bring back, so that's not true. So the blue mana wouldn't have made sense there. Alright, Prismari Command. So the nice part about Command for us is that it's card disadvantage. So they're now down to 2 cards in hand. See what they do. The birds here will bring me down to 8 life. They're passing. Draw. Pore was a good one. Let's tap this and play Brawl. Mystical Dispute. I think I'm going to let Brawl go here. Brawl isn't worth it, and if their last card in hand was a removal spell, I get burned. I'm not really interested in that, so instead let's just cast our Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. And then let's cast Pore over the pages. Tap, untap. Discard this hazard. Let's Pore again. This Pore and the previous one both make 1 mana each. We can discard the Canal. Play our land for turn, why not? And this will bring us up to a bunch of mana. Let's Peer straight into the Abyss. Let's use the red. Alright, so we have 5 mana floating. Looking to draw 18 cards with this Peer. Izzet Charm. I will gladly pay 2 mana here. Alright, and now that I know that our opponent's Hellbent as well. Alright, so it looks like we drew Brawl plus Hidden Strings, so let's play that. And now we use this. Yes, yes, no. Okay. Another Hidden Strings there. And our opponent concedes. That is match number 1 with Izzet Pioneer Lotus Combo. That's a mouthful. But we're 1-0, and I will see you in match number 2. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. let's get back to comboing out. Round number 2. We're on the draw once again, and here we have a reasonable hand. We don't have Lotus Field or Stage. But we do have this Valakut Awakening. I'm going to try this out. I want to see how this goes, because we can play turn 2 Brawl into a turn 2 Valakut Awakening that then draws a bunch of cards looking for our field and stage, which I think is fairly interesting. So, scientific experiment. Let's see how it works. All right. Stomping Ground. Okay. Draw. Let's play Canal and pass. Are they Winota? They usually don't keep hands without 1-drops, but you never know. Voice, okay. Play another Canal into Brawl. My wizard friend. This doesn't seem like Winota, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to block. I don't want to risk my Brawl dying. I'll just take 2 damage. Shimmer. Okay. I'm going to Shimmer first, because if it misses, I can still Valakut Awakening. Alright, well that was a good find. So now I can play the stage and cast the Valakut. And put back... Do I want to put back Pore? Probably not. Let's keep the Pore. Draw 4. Get in there. I'm an aggro deck too. Okay, mana number 4. This can't be Winota with this draw, right? Like, it just wouldn't make any sense. Let's play Planning. There's a field. Blue mana. Play the field. Sacrifice these. Float mana. Let's target these. Yes. Yes. And yes, we'll put the Hidden Strings onto our Brawl. Couple mana floating here. Let's copy. Then get in there. So I could play the Pure into the Abyss right now. But I wouldn't have any mana floating after Pure, unfortunately. I still don't really know what our opponent's doing, but I'm afraid of going to 8 and just dying. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. Like, if they play Winota, attack with the voice, get a trigger, and then they put the wolf into play, like, I'm just dead. So they are Winota, they just kept the world's slowest hand. Now they get their trigger. And there's the wolf. I would have been dead. I'm a genius. Sure, you got it. Okay. Now it's our turn. Draw. So the Vizier was actually a really good draw there, because now I'll have 2 mana floating post Pure instead of just the 1. And that does matter, because any additional copies of Vizier I can then cycle. Okay, so black, blue. We'll cast Pure floating 1. Alright, so there's a Hidden Strings. I can cast that. Yes, yes, no. Alright, our opponent conceded. Shame concede. I love it. Alright, so now we want these Void Snares to answer Deafening Silence. We also want these Fading Hopes. We're coming a deck that's much lower to the ground. I think we could probably shave 1 Pure into the Abyss and then get rid of these copies of Strategic Planning. This looks pretty good to me. Let's try this out. Look at all those 1-drops. It's pretty odd for a Lotus Field combo deck, but I like it. And this deck list is just really lean, which is one of the things that I enjoy about it. I'm not saying that this deck list is perfect. I'm not saying that. But I do think it's pretty interesting as a concept. And our opponent took a mulligan. I think I'm supposed to ship this. It's just like kind of slow. While Fading Hope is really good, I have to dig for lands with my Considers. I might not even hit. And here we technically have a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. Is it good enough? I think it's gonna have to be. Bottom of Brawl. Pass the turn. Flare the Hydra. Into the Goose. Alright, I'm gonna play the Hazard because I plan on using the Valakut Awakening like I did in game 1, where I'm going to bottom a bunch of cards looking to dig for the cards that matter for us. Okay. Another Voice of Resurgence. What's going on? Prosperous Innkeeper. Elite Spellbinder. Okay, so they get to exile a card from her hand, and then it costs 2 more to play if we want to cast it. And they chose the Valakut Awakening. Alright, let's, whoops. Undo. Tap for a blue, going to 19 and play Brawl. We want to cast that Valakut Awakening now. It would cost 4 mana because we have Brawl reducing it by 1. There's the Innkeeper. And Voice for Resurgence, sure. Cannot block. Draw. Let's take 1 here and play the Consider. I can go to the graveyard. Another path. I just have to pass. This hand doesn't do enough. Even if our opponent like doesn't have access to Winota, I can't really do a whole lot. All right, and they're just going to attack with the Spellbinder. I'll fall to 12. So it looks like they're going to make mana number 4 with Gilded Goose on my end step. So Wish finds Lotus Field here. Pretty sure I'm just dead to the Winota though. Play field. Sacrifice these, pass the turn. Alright, so they should make a food token. Yep. And then they get to untap, play Winota, attack with 4 creatures, get 4 triggers, and, well, 3 triggers because a Spellbinder is a human, and wreck my day. Really? No Winota here. That's kind of surprising. So I get a chance. 9 life. Archon of Emeria. That was rough. Okay, draw. So that's a good one. Let's bounce it. But that would mean that I have to win off just 1 Lotus Field. And we're going to bounce the Archon, bottom the land. Play land. We're all in on 1 copy of Lotus Field right now. Pour the pages. Discard 2nd land. Pour the pages. Discard. I could play Wish, but it doesn't actually do a whole lot. I think I'm actually just going to play the Valakut here. Yeah, let's just bottom all 5. So I'm going to draw 6 cards. That was powerful. Alright, so I have to live for another turn. Red mana. Alright, 2 mana here. Another Innkeeper. That means no Winota this turn. Is this Archon coming back? It is. Okay. Let's just stop as much damage as possible. So we'll take 4 going to 5. And now I try to win. Void Snare. Bolt couldn't do that. Just throwing that out there. Okay, let's cycle this Vizier. Untap a Lotus Field. Draw. Alright, so we'll tap this for blue. Tap the Innkeeper, untap Lotus Field. Yes. 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 So we're going to put this on the Brawl. And then tap this for red. Play Wish. And then let's Valakut Awakening. Put these on the bottom. Draw 3. Shimmer. Take the Pore. Now we attack with Brawl. Get our Hidden Strings trigger. Yes. Cast this, untap. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we have 36 cards in deck. I'm going to cycle the Vizier. So I'm going to draw less cards off our pier in order to have more mana floating post-pier, just in case it's a bad one. Okay, play the Pore. Beautiful. And we can discard the Hazard here. Tap this for black mana. And cast the pier. Technically, I could just play Niv-Mizzet and then cast all these, but there's like the possibility that I fizzle. Yeah, I think it's just safer to play the pier. Okay, and our opponent just snap conceded to the pier. We're 2-0. We just beat Naya Winota, a miserable matchup. That said, our opponent probably didn't have their best draws. We didn't really get to use Spikefield Hazard, but this is a matchup where the Hazard is good at picking off their mana dorks. They didn't have any of their Elvish Mystics or Llanowar Elves this match, but it can be relevant. Just throwing that out there. We're 2-0, 3 rounds left to go. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite Stormwind condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, 8 Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in Paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice, we've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. Round 3 and we're on the play. This seems reasonable to me. Keep. Okay, Spire Bluff Canal, pass the turn. Breeding Pool. Okay, and they're going to pass. Let's just cast our Consider. That can go to the graveyard. Pretty good Thespian stage draw right there, if you ask me. Siobhan Reef. Everything is just going so well this game. Alright. Ooh, Pore the pages are Hidden Strings. I think it's supposed to be Hidden Strings because we have this Wish that could then get Pier. Alright, so that, pretty good. We will need a little bit more mana though, because 6 + 4 is only 10. We need 11, and we're facing spirits. Yikes. Wow, that was a good draw. Alright, so let's play our field. Pass the turn. Alright, so they're holding up Spell Queller. We're just not going to play into that right now. We're just going to play our stage and pass. Okay. So if they were holding Spell Queller, not relevant here. And now they'll attack for 3. We go to 15. Only 1 blue. Shimmer. Let's play that Shimmer. Let's see if it resolves. Here into the Abyss, okay. Wonder if I should try to cast Wish here. I actually want the Wish to get countered by Queller. I just don't know if it's going to happen. Oh, they bit down on that bait very hard. I don't care about that wish. Not one bit. Hidden strings. My friend Andre is probably rolling over in his chair right now. If you're those of you that are unaware, my friend Andre Segarra, Rearranged AS, I should quit saying my friend Andre, is a huge spirits advocate. And if you check out his channel, it's all spirits all the time. So Dre's probably just super upset that our opponent bit down on that bait. Reeled him in nice and well. Okay, let's cycle here. And our opponent concedes. No need to win. Super smooth. Take that, spirits. Alright, so Dispute's definitely a card we want here, and Niv is really good. So we want to board in both of those. And let's just keep on taking out the plannings. Like, I think they're the weakest card in the main deck, so let's just shave on them. And then we could probably take out one Pore. You could also consider, like, one Brawl. I don't know. I feel like the Brawl's probably a little bit better than Pore number 3. Let's try this. Sure. Seems good to me. Spikefield Hazard is pretty good in this matchup at picking off like Wanderers and stuff like that. Picked up a Shimmer here. Well, the blue source so that way I can cast Consider. You could like play it out as a red source for the Hazard, but I don't think there's too many 2-drops in their deck that die to Spikefield Hazard. All right, so they can have that. I'm gonna keep Niv, I think. Yeah, I know it's a little crazy because I still need Lotus Field, but I don't think I want to sacrifice that. All right, play the red sourcing. Let's Shimmer looking for field. No field. I'm gonna take the hidden strings. Pass the turn. Selfless Spirit. And another land. Okay. Draw. Dispute. I'm just gonna pass here. Upkeep. I don't think I'm gonna... You know what? Let's do it. Let's Spikefield Hazard. Because if they decided to fight over that, I could then wish for Lotus Field on my turn. Okay, so going to 15. They're choosing not to company. Draw. I think I'm going to play this as a land and pass. If they company here, I will Mystical Dispute. They did not company. This thing gets bigger, right? Oh, it's until end of turn. It's not counters. My bad. I was thinking, like, how did this Selfless Spirit not add a counter onto this? But I didn't realize it was only until the end step. They have 4 cards in hand. Let's play the Awakening, see if it resolves. I think I'm just going to do it for 3. I want to keep the Wish. Well, I found Field, but now I have so much mana. Vizier's a good one. And let's copy the Field and then sacrifice the 2 red sources. Pass. 6 lands. Their hand just has to be incredibly stacked, right? Okay, draw. Hidden strings. Blue, red. Niv's home. And a concession. 3-0-6-0 for Izzet Lotus Field Combo. Wow. 2 rounds left to go. Can we get the perfect 5-0? Stick around and let's find out. Hey, you're still watching. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you're looking to make a purchase from Card Hoarder, TCG Player, or Amazon and are looking to support us, you can open up our description down below, and in there you will find our affiliate links. Those same links are found on the homepage of the Epic Storm. But that's not all. We've included a card hoarder button on our website that will load the Epic Storm in your card hoarder cart to make life simple for you. Welcome to the fourth match. We're on the draw, and we have a hand here where we have Spikefield Hazard is a land drop for our Lotus Field. I'm going to keep this. And our opponent's taking a mulligan, and again down to 5. So they're on 5 cards. And there's a bit of a pause here, so they're probably keeping that 5 and going, just putting the 2 on the bottom. And they did. Stomping Ground. Okay. Llanowar Elves. So this is a spot where I want to use the Spikefield Hazard as a land, but it's really risky. Because if I don't draw a land next turn, I get really punished. So instead, I think I'm going to play this out and just accept them having the acceleration from Llanowar Elves. Sort of a bummer. The one time where I could have really used it. And they are Winota, which is not good for me. Oh, geez. They're curving out really well here. Now I'm about to draw land. Ah, I should have used the Spikefield. Okay, my own fault. Play the Brawl. I could have taken the chance there. I just felt like it was really risky, and they could have been on red-green aggro, which was my thought of why they, like why I didn't use the hazard on the elf. Because if they're red-green, I don't actually care about the elf that much. But if they're on Winota, that elf matters a lot more. In a tough spot here. Alright, so I'm just going to take it and go to 16. No Winota. Ranger class, and then they can use the +1 ability. Okay. Draw. Land. Let's shimmer here. Gladly take the hidden strings. Play the field, and we're just going to pass the turn. Hope that we get to untap. They have 2 cards in hand going up to 3. A really conservative play that turn would have been to play your land, play Wish, and then bounce the Llanowar Elf with a Fading Hope, looking to buy a turn. But that play also loses just a land 4 into Winota. Okay, 3 mana here. Not sure what they're doing. Cathar removing my Brawl, that stinks. Okay, so they could have played that pre-combat last turn and grown their creature. So something I should do this turn, I think, is I can Anger the Gods away their board. And then I would actually get my Brawl back too. So this is 4 mana. Hidden Strings would be +2 is 6. Wish into Anger. I would wipe their entire board. Okay, so let's add some red here. Hidden Strings. Yes. Yes. No. Tap this for red. Play Wish. And then Anger. Alright. We're at 8. That bought us a little bit of time. 4 cards still in hand. Chariot. Jeez. Okay. This might be our go turn. Draw. Another land. Alright, let's cycle the Vizier. Let's try to get as much info as we can. Untap, draw. Another land. Okay, play Pore, floating 1. Untap these, discard Siobhan Reef, why not? Wish. Let's cast Valakut Awakening. I think I'm just going to bottom 5. Like, I just need to hit here, and I'm afraid that the Wish just... It's too much mana to get to a point where I can actually win with it. But I suppose I could keep it and then play towards Dig. I'm just going to bottom all 5. So we're going to draw 6 cards off this. And they are really good. That was a really good 6 cards. Okay, so let's copy the field. Hidden strings. Yes, yes, no. Okay. And now we pour, which will make 2 mana because I have a Brawl in play, which will give me 2 mana post Peer into the Abyss. Discard another land. Alright, so black, blue. 8 mana floating, so I have 2 blue. We're about to draw 18 cards. Okay, so this should do it. Alright, draw. Hidden strings. Yes, yes, no. Cycle. Just need to make more mana so we can play Wish into Niv into the Valakut. Play Pore. 17 cards left in deck down to 14. Discard. Another Hidden Strings is beautiful. Blue, red. What's Hidden Strings? So much mana. 3, 3, 4. That is yes, yes, no on my keyboard. Have we found a Wish? No Wish yet. Alright, let's Shimmer. Take the Pore. And cast it. So while we lost a mana with the Shimmer, we're gaining 1 here with the Pore to make up for it. And there's a Wish. So let's tap this for red. Cast Wish. Play Niv-Mizzet. And then cast the Valakut Awakening. Auto yield. Save targets. Target them. Auto yield to that. Now we just have to select a lot of cards. Okay. Excuse me as I click through. This does take a little bit of time. Okay, now I've selected everything. We'll take 24, I believe. Any order, we'll draw 24 cards. So many triggers. So little time. Look at that. We won game 1 versus Winota again. Can we get lucky twice? Void Snare and Fading Hopes coming in. Let's get rid of these plannings. And skim on a Pier. This deck list feels pretty good so far. I don't know what I'd exactly replace this strategic plannings with. I know that it's a card that I've been boarding out a lot, and I said that I'm not sure if I want to be playing it. I don't know what would be better. If you have a thought on what would actually be better, feel free to let me know. It might be the best card for the slot. I just don't have the experience, and I didn't really put that much thought into it before I started this league, so if you have strong opinions, please tell me. Alright, we're going to keep this. I have the turn 1 hazard again to slow them down. Alright, tap land, draw. I'm going to play the Valakut. So that way I can use this River Glide to play a Brawl on turn 2. Okay. Innkeeper, you got it. Draw. Here, that's fine. It's going to play Brawl. What's the play? Llanowar Elves, sure. Eidolon, jeez. None of our removal spells are 3 damage based outside of the 1 anger on the board, so I'm actually not more concerned with that than I would be like an Archon of Emeria. I think I'm going to cast Consider here, though. Looking for Lotus Field, that can go to the graveyard. Blast Zone. I think I'm just going to play the stage. And in their upkeep, I'm going to kill the Llanowar Elf. Keep them off Winota for a little bit longer if I can. Okay. And they have the 4th mana anyway. So if they have Winota here, they're going to win. Alright, I think we're getting our first game loss. Winota happens. Another Winota. Sure. Alright, block the halfling. We're gonna take 5. I don't even have a Lotus Field yet. And I need an answer to Eidolon, so I think this is going to be our first loss. Yeah, we're just getting smushed. Consider. I can go to the graveyard. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I could play the Blast Zone and add a counter to it, but, like, that doesn't matter. Sure. Whatever. Alright, we'll add a counter here. Let's play it out. Let's try to win it. Pass the turn. Alright, so they will get another trigger off the Winota because of the Eidolon. Block. Okay. At 8 life, they have 4 cards in hand. What are you going to do? Delete Spellbinder or Spellbinder. So now they know that I have a Void Snare. I probably should have just not have F6 because they got to see my hand now. I just don't have any outs to this. Although if I could live long enough to get to Blast Zone for 3, it would clear 3 of their creatures. They took the Pore. That's interesting. Draw. So Wish theoretically finds Lotus Field, but that's a luxury I don't have at the moment because I'm at 8. So what I need to do is add a counter onto this Blast Zone. So that way it goes up to 3. Play the Path. Bounce the Winota and hope that I get to live another turn. I don't know. Like, even if I do get to untap, it costs 3 mana to activate Blast Zone, and then I have to pass back. So Winota comes back down. We need them to miss on all of their triggers. So they get 2 triggers off the Winota here. Because the werewolf... Alright, I'm just dead. Unfortunately, we lost. Bummer. Perfect 5-0 gone. That said, not the end of the world. There's still a game 3. Let's just focus on winning that. And I'm just going to resubmit. On the play for the 3rd game. This seems fine to me. Keep. Play turn 1 Valakut. I guess I could play the turn 1 Consider. Let's do that. I'm just going to be lazy and main this. Let's mill it. Okay. So I drew another stage, which is fine because it allows me to shimmer on turn 2. One of my concerns about playing the other stage on turn 2 is that it would then be a land that we're interested in sacrificing to Lotus Field. Okay. Play shimmer. I think I'm supposed to take another shimmer. Pass the turn. So that means next turn we're probably playing the Valakut tapped and then another shimmer. Depends on what the shimmer finds, but this would be after. What 3-drop do you have? Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, so that most likely gives them Winota next turn. Draw. Another Wish. Oh. Don't know what to do. I can take the Fading Hope, but I guess I already have a Hidden Strings. Yeah, let's take the Fading Hope and just play it a little bit safe. Have to pass the turn here. The problem is that, like, they kept a 7 that let off on 1-drop and a 2-drop that both accelerate, so there's a pretty high likelihood they have Winota, and if they don't, they have Eidolon. So the Fading Hope answers Eidolon, or they just have Winota and they're going to smush my face in either way. And there's the 3rd land, so if they have Winota, they also get 2 triggers this turn. Ah, turn 3. Bummer. Yep. We're just too far behind. Yep. Jeez. So theoretically, if I drew exactly Lotus Field, we might stand a chance. I'm taking 8 here down to 11. If I bounce the Winota at the beginning of combat next turn, they have 12. So that doesn't even save me here. So I guess I would need to draw Lotus Field and attempt to win the game this turn. And if that was the case, I should have taken the other copy of Hidden Strings. They have Spellbinder anyway. So they just had it all. Unfortunately, we lost. They wisely chose the Hidden Strings. Now we take roughly 1,000,000 damage. Draw. Not Lotus Field. So here we were just a little bit too slow against our opponent's very quick start. It happens. Alright, so we're now 3-1 with 1 round left to go. If you're looking for more great Magic the Gathering content, definitely check out the Eternal Glory podcast. It is myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We primarily discuss Legacy. That said, a lot of what we talk about transcends all formats. We're available on all major podcast platforms. The 5th and final match. We're on the draw again, and we've opened up a Spikefield Hazard only hand. We're going to mulligan this. Technically, this hand has 3 lands in it, even though 4 lands, actually. So I think we do keep this, and then we just bottom the Consider. A little bit slow, but we'll have to make do. Uh-oh. Yikes. Land go. Alright, so they have a Knight. So they're most likely black-white vampires. Yep. Okay. No point in killing this. Like, that doesn't accomplish anything. Draw. Play the hazard, pass the turn. Next turn we'll play Lotus Field. It's just a very slow draw for us, unfortunately. Okay, so we're taking 2 here, going to 17. Let's see. I'm not even sure what the right pick is here. It's probably Pure, but I don't even feel strongly about that. They chose Pore. Sure. Draw. Play the field, sacrifice these 2, and pass the turn. So no 3rd land last turn was pretty good for us. We'll take another 2 here. Did they draw land 3? They did not, but they have another Thoughtseize. So if this was their plan, I think they're supposed to take the Valakut Awakening on the comeback. But honestly, next turn I'm probably just going to cycle Vizier and play Planning, looking for stage anyway. So I'm not sure. They could also come back and try to discard Peer into the Abyss with this Thoughtseize. And they chose the Valakut Awakening. Okay, so we have 1 Awakening left in our deck to win with. Hidden Strings is fine, but we have to find the Thespian stage. Untap. Draw. Brawl. I feel like playing Brawl's a little bit of a trap here because it's just going to die to like a Fatal Push. And we hit the stage. How lucky. So we have a Peer into the Abyss next turn. Our opponent would need a 3rd discard spell to stop us. Alright, so we're going to take 2, falling to 13 life. And they're just passing. Okay, let's play this. I'm actually going to play the Brawl here, just because they can play out the removal spell, I don't care. And if it's a 2-mana removal spell, the next Brawl will get to live. Alright, well, it was a Fatal Push. Yes, yes, no. Black mana, blue, 7 mana, Peer into the Abyss. Woot woot. Okay, cycle Vizier. Untap. Draw. Okay, cycle Vizier. Untap. And draw. We do have another Brawl over there. Let's play it. Hidden Strings, does this Brawl get to live? No. Maybe Brawl number 3 will get a chance. Alright, 2 mana floating right now. Do I have the other Brawl? I don't believe so, but I'm going to click through just to make sure. Nope. Okay, so let's cast this Pore. 20 cards left in deck. Untap. Discard Lotus Field. And there's the last Brawl. You can't stop me, my wizard friends. We're going places. Okay, let's cast this Pore of the pages. Untap. Discard Lotus Field. Blue, blue. Hidden Strings. So much mana. Let's have this for red. Play Wish. And then play Niv-Mizzet. And now we can cast our Valakut Awakening. Auto yield. Same targets. Auto yield to that. And now we just have to click a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slide over. 10, 11, 12, 13. That should do. Any order. Alright. And this is going to get our opponent dead. Woot woot. That was game number 1 over Black-White Vampires. I think we probably board in the Void Snares just as a catch-all. They could be playing Deafening Silence or Damping Sphere. Void Snare gets both very efficiently. So it just seems like at such a low cost. You can also use it as a tempo play to bounce their creatures. Void Snare is just underrated in my opinion. And speaking of bouncing their creatures, I'm sort of interested in these Fading Hopes or the Plannings. Or maybe I should board in at least one Niv. Let's try this out. By boarding in Niv-Mizzet, you do get around, what is it called? And I can never remember what it's called. It's like Memoricide, but I don't feel like that's actually it. It exiles all cards of a chosen name, and then your opponent gets that many zombies. If they were in their hand, I believe the zombie clause is on. I don't remember. I always like blank out. Like I just like go black whenever my opponent plays it, just because like I like to pretend it never happened. This seems like a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. I will keep. When I took a mulligan. Something we can expect from this deck in post-war games is go blank. So game 1 we saw Thoughtseize, game 2 they will have go blanks in addition. Okay, Mutavault. That means no 1-drop. I like that. And I think I'm actually going to hold on to the Valakut Awakening. I might cast that to fix up her hand. It's good against their heavy discard draws, so... Ooh, they're just getting in there. Sure, I'm at 18. Wish? So that changes my play. I'm going to play Brawl now, because if they don't immediately kill the Brawl, I get to wish for Lotus Field. And then I have Thespian Stage, and we're all just ready to, you know, do our thing. Okay, so they have land 3. Thorin. They don't have a vampire to sacrifice to kill my Brawl here. So we're going to play Wish, play Lotus Field, and then attack the Sorin. Ugh. Honestly, the Brawl did its job. If Brawl dies now, that's fine, because it got us to accelerate into Lotus Field. Another Sorin. I don't know what all these cards do. Come on. The Sorin Tribal. These kids and their vampires. Back in my day, there was like 2 vampires and one of them was Sangir, because I'm old as dirt. And they still didn't kill my Brawl. That's just blatant disrespect. Alright, so let's cycle. See if we can get our opponent dead here for not killing my Brawl. Draw. Okay. I'm I'm gonna shimmer, looking for hidden strings. Did not hit. But I'll take this other shimmer. Alright, so let's play Pore. I'd really like to get my opponent here for not respecting me. And I drew it. I drew the hidden strings. We're going places. Okay. Hidden strings. Untap. Yes, yes, and yes, we're going to cipher this onto our brawl. Black, blue, draw our half our deck, 22 cards here. Attack them with brawl. We cannot attack a planeswalker, else the cipher doesn't work. I've looked that up previously. And now we get to cast hidden strings. Untap, untap. Yes. Yes. Okay, so now we can hidden strings again. Casual turn 4 win, no big deal. Alright, we have Niv in hand already, so we can just play that. And let's just draw some cards. Okay, they're at 19, easy peasy. And they've conceded. Wooch, wooch. We got that 4-1! Okay, so when we're looking at this deck, I think the sideboard was actually pretty good. I really liked the Void Snares. So that's a card I'd even be interested in testing in the 3-color teamer list. Maybe Overwilt, I'm not sure. Void Snare isn't great with Wish versus Deafening Silence. I mean, no card really is, so that's probably a poor argument. But Void Snare seemed really good as a card to board in. I'm not convinced we actually need planning in the deck, but I don't know what I'd play instead. So if you have a better idea, feel free to let me know. And thank you for watching. I do appreciate you. I don't know. I've got nothing else to say. I'm just going to see it. Goodbye. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.